Germany just experienced a February that felt more like April, catching many by surprise. Across the country, people stepped outside to find a world transformed. Gone were the icy winds and gray skies typical of this time of year. Instead, temperatures soared far above normal, with thermometers in some cities reaching record highs for the month. It was the kind of warmth that made you question the calendar, as if winter had simply decided to take a break. Rather than the usual winter chill, a persistent, high-pressure system settled over the region, bringing days of uninterrupted sunshine and gentle warmth. The effect was especially pronounced in the south, where blue skies stretched endlessly overhead and the air felt almost balmy. Parks and cafes quickly filled up as people flocked outdoors to savor this unexpected early taste of spring. Scarves and gloves were packed away, replaced by sunglasses and light jackets. Laughter echoed through city squares and the mood was unmistakably lighter, though some wondered if they were tempting fate by embracing spring so soon. The high-pressure dome acted like a shield, pushing away cold northern air and drawing in mild breezes from the south. In places like Bavaria, the landscape seemed to leap ahead by weeks, with budding trees and the first hints of green grass. It was as if southern Germany had skipped ahead to a different season entirely. Yet, beneath the joy, there was a subtle sense of unease. Many Germans paused to wonder, could this really last? After all, February is usually a month of snow and frost, not sunbathing and picnics. Some worried that winter might not be finished with its surprises just yet. The unusual weather sparked conversations everywhere, from bustling city streets to quiet village squares. People debated whether this was just a rare fluke or a sign of deeper changes in the climate. Headlines and social media buzzed with questions about what these shifting patterns might mean for the future. For now, though, most are simply soaking up the sun, grateful for a break from winter's gloom. Children played on the grass, couples strolled hand in hand, and friends gathered for impromptu picnics, making the most of every golden hour. But as any meteorologist will tell you, weather surprises like this often come with a catch. Sudden warmth can disrupt natural cycles, and there's always the chance that winter could return with a vengeance. Is this the real start of spring, or just a brief intermission before winter reclaims the stage? Nature has a way of keeping us guessing, and the line between seasons can blur in unexpected ways. Only time, and the next forecast will tell what's in store for Germany. For now, the country enjoys its spring surprise, knowing that in the world of weather, nothing is ever certain. The warmth didn't reach all of Germany equally. While some regions basked in unseasonable sunshine, others remained under a blanket of clouds, feeling the lingering chill of late winter. The country split into two distinct weather zones, almost as if an invisible line had been drawn across the map. In the south, places like the Upper Rhine and the Alps basked in sunshine and record highs, with blue skies stretching for miles and a gentle warmth in the air that felt more like April than early March. Meanwhile, the north stayed cooler and cloudier, with thick clouds hanging low and a persistent breeze reminding everyone that winter wasn't quite ready to let go. Southern cities enjoyed outdoor coffees, with people flocking to cafe terraces in places like Munich and Freiburg, soaking up the rare early spring warmth. But in Hamburg and other northern cities, jackets stayed zipped, scarves were wrapped tight, and outdoor plans were often swapped for cozy indoor gatherings. By the weekend, the contrast sharpened. The south clung to spring-like warmth, with parks and riversides filling up as people enjoyed the sunshine and longer days. In the north, though, the air grew noticeably colder. People bundled up against the chill, and the mood felt more like the tail end of winter than the start of spring. Weather maps showed cold air creeping into the north, dropping temperatures and reminding everyone that winter wasn't far away. Meteorologists warned of a sharp divide, with the cold front refusing to budge. Meanwhile, the Upper Rhine still saw highs around 14 degrees Celsius, remarkable for early March, and a welcome surprise for locals and visitors alike. This north-south divide became the defining feature of Germany's weather as February turned to March, with each region experiencing its own version of the changing season. The warmth in the south persisted, drawing people outdoors in t-shirts and sunglasses, eager to make the most of the unexpected sunshine. But the north braced for a chillier start to spring, with frosty mornings and the promise of warmer days still just out of reach. It was a tale of two seasons, depending on where you stood, a country divided not by borders, but by the weather itself. and as the days passed, everyone wondered which side would win out. Would the warmth of the south spread north, or would the chill reclaim the whole country as winter made its last stand? The Alps and the Rhine Valley were the stars of this warm spell. The foehn winds swept down the Alps, melting snow and creating crystal-clear views and spring-like warmth. Along the Rhine, temperatures soared to 19 degrees, more typical of late April than February. Mornings sometimes started with fog, but the sun quickly burned it away, revealing blue skies. Even after a brief weekend cool-down, forecasts promised the warmth would return, with highs near 18 degrees along the Rhine. The foehn was set to make another appearance, bringing more unseasonable warmth to the mountains. These regions felt like they'd skipped ahead on the calendar, enjoying a rare and beautiful preview of spring. But the pattern was fragile, and everyone knew it could change quickly. For now, the Alps and Rhine basked in the spotlight. How do we predict what's next? Meteorologists rely on powerful computer models, not crystal balls. The American GFS and European ECMWF models crunch global data to simulate the atmosphere's future. For the next week or so, both models agree the high-pressure system and warm weather will stick around. Temperatures are set to stay well above average into early March, giving forecasters confidence in a continued spring preview. But beyond 10 days, the models start to diverge, showing a range of possible outcomes. Some simulations hint at a return to cold, while others keep the warmth going. This uncertainty is the biggest challenge in long-range forecasting. The main forecast is the most likely path, but the ensemble runs show all the other roads the weather could take. For now, enjoy the warmth, but stay ready for surprises. The American GFS model is currently predicting a record-breaking warm March for Germany, with temperatures potentially soaring well above the seasonal average. If this forecast holds, it could mean that previous temperature records for March are not just broken, but completely shattered, ushering in an unusually early and intense start to spring. The European ECMWF model, which is often considered one of the most reliable forecasting tools, is also showing a similar trend, at least for the next couple of weeks. Both models are in rare agreement, pointing to a sustained period of mild, almost balmy weather, with people already flocking to parks and outdoor spaces to enjoy the early warmth. When both the American and European models align so closely, meteorologists gain confidence in the forecast. It's a strong signal that early spring has truly arrived, at least for now, and that the mild weather is likely to persist in the short term. However, forecasting isn't just about the main model runs. Both the GFS and ECMWF also generate ensembles, dozens of alternate scenarios, each with slight tweaks to the initial conditions. These ensembles help meteorologists gauge the range of possible outcomes and the level of uncertainty in the forecast. Some of these ensemble members paint a very different picture. They suggest that the current warm pattern could suddenly break, replaced by a sharp plunge into cold air and even the possibility of late-season snow sweeping across parts of Germany. This creates a real dilemma for forecasters. Should they trust the main, warmer runs that point to a gentle spring, or should they pay closer attention to the colder outliers that hint at a dramatic reversal? The uncertainty keeps meteorologists on their toes. Some ensemble scenarios even indicate that temperatures could drop below -5 degrees Celsius at higher elevations, cold enough for snow showers and a sudden return to winter conditions in the mountains and uplands. As we move into the second half of March, the forecast becomes increasingly uncertain. There's a real possibility of a sharp reversal, with dramatic weather changes that could catch many off guard. That's why forecasters are monitoring the situation so closely. March is notorious for its unpredictability, and weather patterns can shift rapidly, turning a warm spell into a cold snap almost overnight. In the end, the only thing that's truly certain about March weather in Germany is its uncertainty. For now, all eyes remain on the skies and the models. So, will this beautiful weather last? The answer, almost certainly not. While early March looks mild, model trends show temperatures dropping back toward normal, or even below. The current warmth is an anomaly, unlikely to persist through the month. A shift in large-scale patterns could bring a dramatic cool-down, especially if a high forms over Scandinavia and a low over Italy. This setup could drag cold continental air into Germany, a classic late-winter twist. March is famous for wild swings. T-shirt weather one week, snow the next. The risk of night frosts will return, threatening early blossoms and crops. Most likely the record warmth will fade, replaced by more typical March chill. This spring preview is a temporary gift. Winter isn't done yet. Stay ready for a final blast before spring truly arrives. The coming weeks will play out differently across Germany. In Hamburg, the north will see a gradual return to normal, cool, damp, but less risk of a deep freeze. Munich and the south face a bigger risk of a cold shock, with some models hinting at continuous frost and even snow. The proximity to the Alps makes southern cities more vulnerable to late winter surprises. Precipitation chances rise in the south from early March, with snow possible right through the month. While Hamburg may just get chilly rain, Munich could see a real return to winter. The battle between seasons will be fiercest in the south, making spring's arrival anything but smooth. Regional differences highlight just how unpredictable March can be. This unusual warmth has real impacts, especially for agriculture. After a wet winter, the dry spell lets farmers prepare fields and plant crops, something impossible in muddy conditions. But the warmth wakes plants too early, making them vulnerable to frost if winter returns. Early blossoms on fruit trees could be wiped out by a single cold night, risking harvests. For everyone else, the sun lifts spirits and cuts heating bills, but brings dilemmas. Swap winter tires? Plant the garden? Acting too soon could backfire if cold returns. This event fits a larger pattern, more extreme swings, and unpredictable seasons as the climate changes. Winters are milder, transitions are wilder, and the consequences touch everything from food to daily routines. It's a vivid example of how weather and climate shape our lives. The final takeaway: enjoy the spring preview, but don't get carried away. This is almost certainly not winter's last act. The mild start to March is a gift, but the high-pressure system won't last. A significant cool-down is likely, with night frosts and even snow possible. Especially in the south. March is notorious for wild swings. Don't be fooled by a few sunny days. Hold off on planting and keep your winter coat handy. Farmers will be watching for frost, and everyone should be ready for a cold snap. Appreciate the good days, but prepare for the bad ones. Spring will come for good, but winter isn't done fighting yet. Keep an eye on the forecast, and don't pack away those scarves just yet.